Take a slow breath in, deeply, quietly, as though the night itself is listening. Hold it for a moment, then let it go, slowly, softly. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your jaw relax. Let your hands rest heavily. And as your body begins to grow still, imagine that the room around you is becoming darker. Not frightening at first, only dim, only quiet, only touched by the soft sound of rain against old glass. A slow rain, a cold rain. A rain that has been falling for hours over Forgotten Hill, where an old Victorian mansion waits alone beneath a moonless sky. You are standing at the end of a narrow gravel road. The world behind you has disappeared into fog. Ahead of you, iron gates rise from the mist, tall, black, twisted into shapes like thorny vines. The mansion stands beyond them, tall, narrow, silent. Its windows are dark, except for one small window at the very top of the house, in the attic. A pale yellow glow flickers there, once, twice, then vanishes. The rain taps gently on your coat. Tap, tap, tap. Like fingertips on wood. You hear the wind move through the bare branches above you, making them scratch softly against each other. Shh, shh, shh. The sound is almost comforting. Almost. You take one step forward. The gravel shifts beneath your feet. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The gate opens by itself, slowly, with a long, tired groan, as if it has been waiting a very long time for you. You step through. The air changes immediately. It becomes colder, thicker, quieter. Even the rain seems softer inside the grounds, as though the mansion has swallowed the sound of the world. The path curves through dead gardens. Old roses bushes lean over the walkway. Their thorny branches black and tangle as the stone fountain sits in the center of the lawn, dry and cracked, with an angel statue as its center. The angel has no face, only smooth stone where eyes and mouth should be. And yet, as you pass, you feel it turn toward you, not moving, not breathing, only noticing. You continue forward. The mansion grows larger with every step. It is made of dark wood and pale stone, with sharp rooftops, narrow chimney, and balconies draped in dead ivy. The front porch sags under its own age. The windows are tall and thin. Some are cracked. Some are covered from inside by heavy curtains. And some seem to reflect things that are not standing outside. Shapes, faces, hands press faintly against the glass. But when you blink, there's nothing there. Only rain, only darkness, only the waiting house. You reach the front door. It is carved from heavy oak, stained nearly black with time. At the center is a brass knocker shaped like a woman's hand. Her fingers are long, too long. Her nails are sharp. You do not touch it. You only stand there, breathing quietly, listening to the rain, listening to the wind, listening to the faint creaks deep inside the mansion. Then the lock clips once, softly. The door opens inwards, just enough for you to enter. A breath of air escaped from inside, cold, dusty, ancient. It brushes your face like a whisper, and from somewhere far above you, almost too faint to hear, comes a voice. Not loud, not clear, only a thin thread of sound drifting down through the walls. Come upstairs. You step inside. The door closes behind you. Not with a slam, not with a force, but gently, carefully, like someone has placed a hand against it and pushed it shut. The entrance hall is vast and dark. A chandelier hangs above you, covered in cobweb. The crystals tremble slightly. There is no wind. Tiny sounds fall through the room. Ding, 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 like distant glass bells. The wallpaper is faded burgundy, peeling in long curls from the walls. The floor is polished wood, but dulled by dust. Every step you take leaves a mark, and every mark behind you slowly disappears. You breathe in. The house smells of old paper, cold ashes, damp velvet, and something faintly sweet. Lavender, perhaps, or perfume. A perfume worn by someone who has been gone for over 100 years. To your left is a parlor. To your right is a dining room. Ahead of you, a grand staircase rises into darkness. At the top of the stairs, a hallway waits. And somewhere above that hallway, hidden behind ceilings and locked doors, is the attic, the whispering attic. You move slowly into the parlor first. The doors open with a soft sight. Inside, furniture is covered in white sheets. Old chair, a low sofa, a piano. Everything looks like ghosts pretending to be furniture. Rain streaks the window. The fireplace is cold. Above it hangs a portrait of a woman in high necklace black dress. Her skin is pale. Her hair is pinned neatly. Her eyes are dark and glossy. They do not look painted. They look wet, alive, and watching. You stand very still. The room is quiet. Then a single piano key presses down. Pling! You turn toward the piano. No one is there. Another key. Pling! Then another. 3 notes. Slow. Uneven. Like a child learning a song in the dark. The sheets covering the piano rises slightly, as though something underneath has taken breath. Then it settles. You back away. The portrait's eyes follow you to the door. In the hall again, the house seems larger than before, longer, darker. The staircase waits. The banister is carved with flowers, birds, and tiny faces hidden among the vines. Your finger brushes the wood. It is smooth, cold, and beneath your touch, you feel the faint tapping from inside the banister. Tap, 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 like fingernails answering from within the walls. You place one foot on the first stair. It creaks beneath your weight. The sound travels upward. A long wooden complaint. The second stair creaks louder. The third gives a soft cracking sound. As you climb, you hear the whisper again. Closer now. Not above you exactly. Inside the staircase. Inside the walls. Inside the house itself. Softly. You climb softly, slowly. Each breath is calm. Each step is careful. The house does not want noise. It wants quiet. It wants you to listen. The wallpaper along the staircase is lined with old frame photographs. Families in stiff clothing. Children with serious faces. Men with pale eyes. Women holding books, flowers, dolls. Every photo is fade, except the eyes. The eyes remain dark, sharp, clear. As you pass them, the head inside the frame seems to turn just slightly. Not enough to be certain. Only enough to make your heart beat slower and heavier in your chest. At the top of the stairs, you reach a long corridor. A red carpet runs down the center. Doors line both sides. Every door is closed. At the far end is a tall grandfather clock. Its face is cracked. Its hands are stopped at 3:17. But the pendulum still swings. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Slow, patient, wrong. Because no clock should still move after it has stopped. Walk down the corridor. The floorboards whisper beneath your feet. The rain taps against the windows. The clock keeps ticking. Behind one door, something drags lightly across the floor. Scrap. Scrap. Behind another, there's the faint sound of someone breathing through sleep. But there should be no one there. There has been no one there for decades. At least, no one living. You stop at the bedroom door. Its handle is brass, cold to the touch. A small label is fixed above it. Nursery. You turn the handle. The door opens. The nursery is washed in a pale blue darkness. A crib stands in one corner. A rocking horse faces the window. Shelves line the walls, filled with dolls. So many dolls. Porcelain faces, painted smiles, tiny glass eyes. They sit in rows, their hands fold neatly, their heads tilted slightly forward, as though they were waiting for story time, as though they were waiting for you. The rocking horse moves, once forward, back, forward, back. No one is touching it. The motion is gentle, sleepy, almost soothing. Wood creaks softly with each movement. Creak, creak, creak. You hear tiny whispers from the dolls. Not one voice, many, layered together, thin as a thread. Do not wake her. You look toward the crib. Inside it, beneath a yellow blanket, there is only shadow. A deep shadow. Too deep for such a small bed. The blanket rises and falls, slowly, as though something beneath it is dreaming. You do not step closer. You do not pull back the blanket. Some mysteries in old houses should be left sleeping. You leave the nursery and close the door quietly. Behind you, the rocking horse stops. The corridor continues. At the far end, near the clock, a narrow door stands slightly open. It is smaller than the others, plain, unmarked. A thin line of darkness waits beneath it. You know without being told that this door leads upward. Not to another bedroom, not to a sitting room, but to the attic, the whispering attic, the place where the light flickered, the place where the voice began. You walk toward it. The grandfather clock grows louder as you pass. Tick, tock, tick, tock. When you are directly in front of it, the pendulum stops. The silence that follows is enormous. Then, inside the clock, something scratches. Once, twice, 3 times. A slow scratch from behind the wooden panel. You lean closer against your better judgment. From inside the clock, a voice whispers your name. You step back. The attic door opens wider. Not quickly, not suddenly. Only enough to invite you. The air behind is colder than the hallway. A narrow staircase rises into the darkness. The steps are steep. Dust gathers quickly on each of them. But in the dust, you see footprints, small footprints, bare feet, leading upward, fresh. You begin to climb. The attic staircase is very narrow. The walls are close to your shoulders. The wood smells old and dry. With every step, you hear tiny sounds around you, soft. A distant drip, a low groan from the roof beams, and beneath it all, the whispers. They are clearer now, not loud. Never loud, only close, like someone speaking directly beside your ear. Come slowly. You climb one step, then another, then another. Your breathing becomes part of the house. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. The stairs creak. The rain taps. The whisper drift. And your body, though frightening, becomes heavier. Sleepier, as if the house is not only haunted, as if it is tired, and it is teaching you how to be tired too. At the top of the stairs is a door. It is painted white, though the paint has cracked and yellowed. A small brass key hangs from a string beside it. The key swings gently, back and forth, back and forth. Though the air is still, you take it. It is freezing, so cold it almost burns your fingertips. You place it in the lock. Turn it. Click. The attic opens. The smell of dust blooms outward. Old fabric, old wood, old secrets. You step inside. The attic is much larger than it should be. It stretches far across the top of the mansion. Its ceiling slanted beneath the roof. Rain whispers against the shingles. Wooden beams cross overhead like black ribs. Moonlit, faint and gray, enters through the round windows covered in cobweb. Boxes are stacked everywhere. Trunks, old mirrors, broken chairs, rolled carpets, birdcage. A dressmaker's mannequin wearing a torn wedding gown. A child's pram with one wheel missing. And in the center of the room, beneath a single hanging bulb, sits a rocking chair, moving slowly, forward, back, forward, back. No one is in the chair, but it rocks as though someone has just stood up. You listen. The attic whispers all around you. From the boxes, from the rafters, from the cracks between the floorboards. Some voices are old, some are young. Some are barely human. They do not scream. They do not beg. They simply whisper again and again. The house remembers. You take one careful step forward. Dust rises around your shoes. The hanging bulb flickers. A soft electric buzz fills the attic. Bzzz. Bzzz. The wedding gown on the mannequin shifts slightly. Its slant sleeves falls from the shoulder. The headless neck tilts towards you. Somewhere behind the trunks, something giggles. A small, breathy giggle. Then silence. You move deeper into the attic. floorboards bow slightly under your feet. A large mirror leans against the wall. Its glass is clouded with age. At first, it reflects only shadows. Then it reflects you, standing alone in the attic. But behind your reflection, there is a woman. The woman from the portrait downstairs. Black dress, pale face, wet, watchful eyes. She stands so close behind you that her lips are almost at your ear. You turn. Nothing. Only the attic. Only the rocking chair. Only the rain. You look back at the mirror. The woman is still there. Her lips move slowly, carefully. You cannot hear the words at first. Then her voice arrives, delayed, as if the traveling from very far away. Do not open the red trunk. Your eyes move to the corner. There, beneath the slanted ceiling, sits a red trunk. Its color has faded with age, but it is still unmistakable. Dark red, almost black in place. Iron bands wrap around it. A large lock hangs in the front. The lock is open. The lid is closed. And from inside, it comes a soft tapping. Tap. 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 You do not move toward it. Not yet. Instead, you turn to an old writing desk beneath the round attic window. A diary rests on top. Its leather cover is cracked. A ribbon marks a page near the end. You open it. The page smells of dust and lavender. The handwriting is delicate, old-fashioned, slanted sharply to the right. You read by the trembling light. The diary tells of a family who lived in the mansion long ago. A widow, her children, a governess, a servant who heard whispers at night, and an attic that has not allowed to enter after sunset, and an attic that no one was allowed to enter after sunset. The diary says that the whispers began after the youngest child disappeared. No door was found open, no window broken, no footprints led outside. Only the attic door was discovered unlocked. And from that day forward, the family heard the child laughing above them. Every night, in the ceiling, in the walls, behind the nursery door, calling for someone to come and play. You turn the page. The handwriting becomes shakier. The widow wrote that she began to dream of the attic. In her dream, she climbed the narrow stairs and found the red trunk open. Inside was not clothing, not toys, not old blankets. Inside was a staircase, another staircase, descending into darkness, a staircase that should not exist. A staircase that went down, 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 into the heart of the house. And from below came all the voices of everyone the mansion had ever kept. The bulb flickers above you. The attic grows colder. You hear the tapping from the red trunk again. Tap, tap, tap. Then a whisper, small, childlike, please. Your body is heavy now. Your eyelids, even the story, feel heavy. The mansion has drawn you deep into its quiet, deep into its darkness, deep into its old, breathing silence. You know you should turn back. You know you should leave the attic, descend the stairs, past the clock, the nursery, the portraits, the parlor, the gate, and return to the road beyond the fog. But the red trunk keeps tapping, softly, patiently, like rain, like fingertips, like a heartbeat hidden inside wood. You walk toward it. The attic whispers becomes excited. Not louder, never louder, only closer. They gather around you in layers. Do not open. Listen. Stay. Remember. The rocking chair stops. The wedding gown turns slightly. The mirrors darkens. The house waits. You kneel in front of the red trunk. The iron lock hangs open. Cold air leaks from the edges. It smells like earth after rain. Like old stone. Like the inside of a cellar that has not been opened in 100 years. You place both hands on lid. The wood is warm, not cold, warm, as though something living rests beneath it. You lift slowly. The lid opens. Inside the trunk is darkness. At first, only darkness. Then the darkness moves. It folds inward, revealing narrow wooden steps descending below the attic floor. Impossible steps. They go down into a space that cannot exist. The mansion has no room for this staircase. And yet, there it is, waiting. The whispers rush up from below like cold breath. Hundreds of voices, 1,000 perhaps, all soft, all speaking at once, all saying the same thing. Calm down. You look into the impossible staircase. A faint light glows far below, yellow, flickering, like the attic window seen from the road. You realize that the light you saw at the top of the mansion was never the attic. It was below it, beneath it, inside the house hidden heart. The attic was only the doorway. You step onto the first stair. Creaks. The sound is swallowed immediately by the darkness. The trunk lid remains open above you. You descend. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. The air grows colder. The whispers become softer, which somehow makes them more terrifying, as though the voices are leaning in, as though they are close enough now that they no longer need to speak loudly. The stairs continue downward, too far, farther than the height of the house, farther than the cellar, farther than reason. Your hand trails along the wall. It is covered in old wallpaper, the same faded burgundy from the entrance hall. But here, beneath the house, the wallpaper is damp, and when your fingertips brushes it, you feel shapes beneath the paper. Raised lines, small circles, fingernail scratches. Words carved into wood and covered over. You do not read them. You keep walking. At last, the staircase ends. You stand in a narrow corridor lit by candles. The candles do not melt. Their flames are perfectly still. Doors line the corridor. Small doors, tall doors, doors with brass number, doors with no handles, doors covered in locks. Beneath each one, a different sound waits. A music box, a sob, a lullaby, a slow knock. A breath presses against the other side, and at the end of the corridor is a woman in black. She stands beneath the archway. Her dress does not move. Her hair is pinned neatly. Her eyes shine in the candlelight. She looks sad, not gentle, not safe, but sad, as though she had been waiting so long that sorrow has become part of her bones. She raises a finger to her lip. The entire corridor goes silent. Even your breath feels quieter. She turns and walks through the archway. You follow. Beyond it is a room that looks exactly like the parlor downstairs. The same covered furniture, the same cold fireplace, the same piano. But here, everything is cleaner, newer, untouched by dust. A fire burns silently in the hearth. A tea set rests on a small table. The woman sits in a chair by the fireplace. She gestures for you to sit across from her, and you do. For a long moment, neither of you speaks. The fire gives no warmth. The cups give no steam. The room feels like a memory preserved beneath glass. Finally, the woman whispers, "The house keeps what is left behind." Her voice is dry and soft, like pages turning in the dark. Letters, names, footsteps, promises, children. The fire dims. The woman looks toward the ceiling. Above you, you hear small feet running. The sound circles the room. Fast, light, playful. Then it stops directly overhead. A child laughs. The woman closes her eyes. I told her never to go into the attic, she whispered. But the attic whispered, sweeter than I did. The piano begins to play. The same 3 notes from before. Blink, blink, blink. But now, beneath the notes, you hear breathing. The room full of breathing. You look toward the covered furniture. The sheets begin to rise, one by one, as though people are sitting beneath them, as though unseen guests have arrived for tea. The woman does not react. She only watches you. The house will offer you a room, she says. It offers everyone a room. A door appears behind her chair. It was not there before. Small, white, with your name written on it in the fade ink. The handle turns slowly by itself. Inside is darkness, warm darkness, soft darkness. A bed waits there. You can feel it. A bed with clean sheets. A heavy blanket. A pillow that remembers the shape of your head. A room where you could sleep for years, for centuries, without waking. The woman leans closer. Her face is pale and impossibly still. Do not accept what the house offers. The unseen guest beneath the sheet turns their hidden head towards you. The child above the ceiling begins to laugh again. The door with your name opens wider, and from inside, in a voice that sounds almost like your own, something whispers, "You are so tired." You are tired. So tired your body feels heavy. Your breathing is slow. Your thoughts drift like smoke. The bed behind the door calls softly. Rest. Stay. Sleep. But another part of you remembers the rain, the road, the gate, the world outside the mansion. You stand slowly. The woman in black watches you. For the first time, something like relief passes across her face. The room begins to change. The fire goes out. The teacups crack. The sheets collapse as whatever sat beneath them disappeared. The door with your name closes by itself, hard. The sound echoes through the hidden room. The child above the ceiling stops laughing, and from somewhere deep in the walls, the house whispers, not sadly, not sweetly, angrily, "Stay!" The candles in the corridor blows out one by one. Darkness rushes towards you. The woman points back to the staircase. "Go," she whispers. "Do not run." So you walk, slowly, carefully, because running waits things that are better left sleeping. You pass the doors. Behind them, the sound becomes louder. The music box spins too fast. The sob becomes a laugh. The knocks become pounding. The breathing becomes your name and repeated again and again. But you do not open any doors. You keep walking. You reach the impossible staircase and begin to climb. The darkness below rises after you, not like smoke, like water. Cold, black water filling the corridor beneath the house. The whispers climb with you. "Stay. Sleep. Remember us. Open the door. Come back." Each step becomes heavier. The stair stretches longer. The attic light above seems further away, but you continue. One step, one breath, one slow movement upward. At last, you see the red trunk above you, the attic floor, the hanging bulb, the gray moonlight. You climb out and fall softly into the attic boards. The red trunk slams shut behind you. The lock clicks. The tapping stops. For one long moment, the attic is silent, completely silent. Then, the rocking chair begins again. Forward, back, forward, back. You stand. The diary on the desk is open to a new page. Fresh ink glistens there. A sentence has appeared. You were offered a room, and you refused. Below it, another line writes itself slowly, letter by letter. The house will remember this. The woman in black is gone from the mirror. The wedding gown hangs still. The boxes are quiet. The whispers have faded to almost nothing. Only one remains, a child's voice, very soft, very close. "Thank you." You turn toward the attic door. It is open. The narrow staircase waits. You descend slowly, letting each step take you further from the attic. The air warms slightly. The walls widen. The whispers thin. You return to the hallway with the stopped clock. Its pendulum begins to swing again. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The hand moves from 3:17 to 3:18. Only 1 minute has passed, or perhaps 100 years. You walk past the nursery. The door is open now. Inside, the rocking horse is still. The doll faces forward. The crib is empty. On the blanket lies a small white ribbon, clean, untouched by dust. You do not enter. You only nod gently to the quiet room and continue down the corridor. The staircase carries you downward. The portrait watches you pass, but their eyes seem different now. Less hungry, less sharp. Some almost look grateful. In the parlor, the piano is silent. The woman's portrait above the fireplace has changed. She is no longer staring directly outward. Her gaze is turned slightly upward, toward the attic, toward whatever remains there, toward whatever she has waited for all these years. You reach the entrance hall. The chandelier trembles softly overhead. Ding, ding, ding. The front door opens before you. Outside, the rain has slowed. The garden waits in silver fog. You step onto the porch. The air is cold and clean. Behind you, the mansion exhales. A long, low sight through every crack, chimney, and keyhole. Not defeated, not gone, only quiet again. You walk down the path, past the faceless angel, past the dead roses, past the black iron gate. The mansion grows smaller behind you. But before you leave the grounds completely, you turn back once. At the top of the house, the attic window glows pale yellow. A small hand appears against the glass. Then another. Then the hand lifts, waving goodbye. The light goes out. The gate closes gently behind you. The gravel road leads back into the fog. Your body is heavy now, safe, still, sleepy. The haunted house remains behind you, locked in its own darkness, whispering only to itself. The rain softens, the wind settles, the world becomes quiet. You breathe in slowly and breathe out. You are no longer in the attic. You are no longer in the mansion. You are resting here, now, warm beneath the blankets. The only sound around you are soft sounds. Rain on the window, a distant creak, a gentle breath, a fading whisper. And just before sleep takes you completely, you hear one final voice, not frightening now, not calling you back, only drifting far away from the highest room of a forgotten Victorian mansion, where dust settles over trunk, mirrors, dolls, and secrets. The whisper says, "Good night." Let your eyes grow heavier. Let your thoughts grow slower. Let the story fade. The mansion is far away. The attic is locked. The red trunk is closed. The whispers are quiet. And you are drifting down, down into sleep, softly, safely, completely. Good night.